Here we go.
Aha! There he is.
There you go.
How are you?
What?
How are you?
I'm doing well. I think I'm well fed.
That means you're not feral this week.
No.
Those two usually go hand in hand or hand in
Yeah.
mouth or something.
That's true. Right? Anyway.
Yeah. So I decided I was going to stay for a little while and I got rid of all the boxes that were turning into a mountain. I took my box cutter and I sliced them up and
Oh,
started
that's good.
turning. Yeah, this little room is turning into a little bit of a space. I spent a whopping $12 and got a couple of very sturdy wall mounts for my guitars. So
Yeah.
that's good. So now they're to hand. I think I found a little PreSonus preamp on Facebook Marketplace for
Yeah.
$40.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't given up on getting my stuff, but I got to keep working.
Oh, yeah.
And I need just a couple little things to keep doing that.
Yeah. Always curious about the lag time from the time the boxes arrive to where they finally get, you know, unloaded, unboxed.
At my house,
Yeah.
that's immediate. Like, are you
Oh,
talking
that's
about when
good.
you move or when you get stuff in the from the Amazon?
Like when you move stuff,
Oh,
everything goes in the cabinets and everything.
yeah, it's in waves. Usually the first thing I'll set up is kitchen, well, bedroom, kitchen, bathroom.
Yeah.
Everything after that, like then probably living room and then studio. That also, that's up there at the top three
Yeah.
for me, you know.
Good.
So yeah, like I can see it happening. So that's halfway there. Yeah.
Well, good.
So I see people are thanking you for War Day.
What now?
I see people are thanking you for War Day and you're putting it up on that social media. That's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh wait, either I saw a ghost or someone Vanna's walking back and forth. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, somebody putting in the social media, you mean me, I guess.
Oh, yes. Yes, actually, you do really good social media. I
Thank,
love all your
yeah.
posts. They're
Thank
really, really
you.
clever. The music you choose is fabulous. How you edit it, everything. I'm impressed. I really love your work.
Thank you.
I,
Thank you. I'm only, I mean, like I'm learning as I go, like just kind
Aren't
of
we all?
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yep, God help the world, but it's okay, it's good. It's you're facilitating creation and inspiring people and helping people not be so crazy.
it's a slow process.
It's okay, and we need all the help we can get. So thank you very much.
I agree. She's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, man. Major, major kudos to you. Well,
Well, some people need our help that aren't asking, obviously, you know.
yeah. I have a couple notes out right now. It's like I haven't heard much from little Avi, but we've definitely heard from lots of your favorite word, whistleblowers. People are starting to pipe up, and just for the audience's edification, the word some people say tranche, some people say tranche. Well, the people who say tranche are copying how the word is properly sort of pronounced in French, which is tranche, because it means slice. Tranche, a tranche de pain means a slice of bread. So they're giving us slices. But I'm pretty sure we're not going to get anything any good till like
Yeah.
tranche 47,000.
You know, there. excuse me, there was no such thing as Epstein. He never existed. Everything you've seen on the internet is disappearing, right? Because it just like in the words of our fearless leader, Fossick, um, that's a cartoon. Anyway, I can't believe people are still talking about that. Yeah,
Epstein?
that's a quote. That's a quote from, our fearless leader, our Lord and Savior. And
You can't believe
then
that people are
and
still
then
talking.
everybody stopped talking about it. So he went and started a war in Iran, right? And now he's singing a new song, an Elvis song. Return the sender, no such home, no such number, right? Remember
No
that
such
song?
address.
Yeah, because he just came out yesterday and said, we're not going to talk about that anymore.
Okay. He's
Yeah. So,
decreed.
yeah,
He's
'cause it just doesn't matter anymore, right? Isn't that amazing that you can be told what matters and what doesn't?
Well, yeah, I mean, since he's in charge of everything,
Right. That's it. Yeah.
charge
Our
of
Lord
the
and
universe.
Savior. The word has come down. We're not going to talk about that anymore. We're not going to talk about Iran or oil prices or the fact that he's got 47 medals coming from winning the war, right?
Well, and they're still, aren't they still trying to gift him a DC? No, maybe not a 747. Somebody wants to give him a 747 still.
Well, he gets a medal for valor under fire, right? Think about all the media that's attacked him. He gets a battle commission to, a 5 star, six. There's never been a 6 star general, so maybe he's our new 6 star general. We'll have to put a commendation up for him.
My
Yeah.
mother would say that. He'll receive an extra commendation. Like when she was in the throes of her, wherever she was, when I was trying to feed her lunch, get her up out of bed to go pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gold stars. I guess we're going to top out at 6. So,
Are we though? Like maybe there's
well,
another day
and
coming too.
maybe he can go for 7. You can't tell, right? It
Because
might
he
be a
can't go for that.
cracker
Oh.
jack year. Yeah, we can go for 7, and then and then everything's good. That's all you got to remember. Everything's good.
Right. Well, that's the general numb disconnect that the young folks tend to have these days.
Yeah.
Just generally
Yeah.
numb, disconnected, can't have a bad feeling because it means, uh-oh, something might be wrong. And then,
Yeah.
horrors. You might actually have to snap out of it for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the way they tell you that things are normal because a pound of beef is now 16 or $18.
That's normal.
A pound of fish is about $23. I mean,
Well, if you want a
it,
good cut of beef in New
orange
York,
juice went to
it's
$20 for fresh squeezed orange juice, 18.99, and gas is $5. So, things are absolutely great out there.
I love it.
If you're rich. If you're rich, it doesn't bother you at all, right?
Well, I mean, and I guess there are places you can go, but even here, like where I live, I think they said it was 13% under the national cost
Yeah.
of living here where I am,
Right.
which is pretty good.
Right.
Um, I still got like New York strip steak is still 18.99 a pound. Ribeye is like 23.99.
Yeah.
Um,
That seems like
Pork is not expensive.
yeah.
And chickens, well, I mean, if you know a farmer, you just get something whose head has been lopped off, like, this morning.
Yeah. So everything is normal, situation normal, right?
Okay.
No need to worry.
No AFU at the end of that.
Everybody can go back to their social media and not be bothered by anything, right?
Meanwhile, if you have a Tesla car and it's on self-drive mode and you get pulled over and try to claim that the car was in charge, the cop will tell you that you are behind the wheel and you're in charge of the car. But somehow magically, Tesla has redacted and refused to discuss self-drive mode opposed to auto drive mode, and they then even renamed it something because
Mhm.
now they have to weaponize words because their cars just decide to do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. Rosanna Arquette said something about that
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's just pure anarchy is all it is.
I thought it was
Self-driving car,
lunacy.
right? Next thing they'll know, there'll be self-thinking humans out there, right? Uh, I wouldn't look forward to it too soon, right? Just not happening, right?
Self-thinking humans.
Yeah,
It's a
imagine that,
dying breed. Well,
because it is imagination.
the sooner we all die, the easier it is for them to keep a narrative going because no one's left to have any point of reference to what.
Oh, that's it. Once you offer both points of view equally, then you've got decision fatigue and decision lockup. And even at that point, there's one more step where you refuse to even consider making a decision. Welcome to present reality. Thank goodness they got rid of that war in Iran. I mean, there was just too much media coverage on that thing, right? Actually, there wasn't. If you ever notice, there were no pictures except the same picture over and over. Bombs going off at night. Never bombs going
Probably
off during the
stock
day.
footage that they bought for cheap or some AI nonsense.
Yeah, because bombs never go off during the day and all that media stuff. And the second thing is, what else? Oh, you never see UFOs during the day. So I don't
Well,
think
Chris
that,
Bledsoe sees them 24/7.
yeah. So I'm
Come
thinking
on.
there's no daylight UFOs. There's no daylight bombing. There's no daylight Iran.
No,
I
there
don't
is
think it,
daylight. There are daylight orbs for Chris Bledsoe. He sees them 24/7.
oh,
Come on.
come on, bring one home. Let me look at it.
People go to his house to see them.
Yeah. And they make that little electronic mosquito swatter.
Is it kind of like a little mini cattle prod for mosquitoes?
Yeah, you like a tennis racket and it goes zzz when it hits the fly or whatever.
Huh.
See, you could do real science right here. If there is a real orb there, you could measure the interaction between the electrical charge of your mosquito swatter and an orb, and at that point, you will have established scientific method that proves that something occurred, as
Well,
opposed to I just saw one.
you do realize that they're now saying that when they shut down the airspace in El Paso,
Yeah.
that it's because they didn't want to accidentally shoot down another passenger plane when they were actually aiming at the aliens. And that
Ah,
they're saying that this is why that they've been shutting down airspace now because they're using what they call a dog whistle, like the same dog whistle that Jake Barber and his crew use, right? For
oh,
sky
now,
watchers. Like,
now
oh, it's
you're,
getting thick out there.
yeah, you're making perfect sense now that if there's aliens and ETs, a dog whistle's what's required.
Well, no, they've been saying that. It's not my term or my
Okay.
opinion. I'm just repeating like one of my little friends in the other room. Probably want a cracker, right? I'm just repeating what I see
I'm
because
telling you,
it
I think
kind of gets me.
between little Avi and some Dyson goggles you can buy now, Dyson goggles, and through Dyson goggles and little Avi's rituals and a dog whistle, I think we could do some high-end vectoring. How's
I think hijinks is what we could do.
that?
Hijinks.
Yeah. If you go back to all this stuff is scripted, they drag it all out of science fiction novels. I mean, it's just,
But at what point does humanity stop being gullible to everything they hear? I mean, it's like humanity has ADHD. It's a fish. Oh, really? Where? Oh, look at there. There's a rainbow. Oh, Like
Yeah.
what fish? I
Yeah.
mean, we're the
Didn't
attention span of a fucking goldfish.
yeah. Yeah. Didn't they write a book and call it Gullible's Travels?
Gullible's travels. If nobody did, somebody should.
Yeah. Somebody should write a book, Gullible's Travels, and just watch. People don't realize they give you kind of like the top 20 things you're supposed to pay attention to. What are they? DJT, Elon Musk, Vance a little bit. That's it. No musicians right now. No P.
Steven
Diddy.
Spielberg, don't forget Disclosure Day. We're not talking about that much anymore either.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, and I like what little Stevie come up with. Catastrophic disclosure.
Oh, what do you mean, little
Yeah, like,
Stevie? He's been
yeah,
saying that for years now. If it
yeah,
doesn't
but
go right, it's going to be a catastrophic disclosure.
yeah, but like, what constitutes disclosure and what constitutes catastrophic disclosure? I mean,
When people start jumping out the window when they realize that going to church every Sunday has been a giant waste of their time, which means they have no idea who they are or what their identity is supposed to be because they conformed and didn't think for
oh,
themselves.
yeah,
Mass suicide because of instantaneous uh I don't know, personality disorder. I
I,
don't know.
I don't know.
Like if
I
everybody
mean,
knows they're in awareness,
if there was such a thing as catastrophic disclosure, they would probably make a movie and call it Independence Day or something, you
come
know?
on, quit dragging my friend Dean into this, dude. I should get you to talk to Dean Devlin. You probably wouldn't. I still want you to talk to Shane Grove.
Yeah.
Like he's a very interesting person. Like he flies under the radar, like, oh yeah, I'm just a mailman. It's like, yeah, but you're not. Like he thinks, he writes
Yeah.
country
I,
music, he
I th
sells songs. Like
Thinking of disclosure, I wondered if a little Fauci is was he involved in any alien probes
Tiny Fauci. I don't
or in
know.
any alien probing, maybe we might call it.
Maybe I think he liked it too.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
And then
So
that brings us to David Jacobs, who's the hybrids are here and they're taking over. You know what? If anything is dangerous, it's the AI and the data centers. Like those, that's what's danger because people don't still know or understand what it is that they've built and they haven't built any safeguards in them. AI is going on. This one AI went and hacked into some other AI just the other day again. Like,
nobody out there has ever said what happens in a data center. Okay. What happens in like, is there a product? Is there a raw material that goes in? If the raw material is data, then the storage and processing has to produce a product that is someone has deemed valuable and willing to pay for, right? And then you ask, well, who's willing to pay for it? And you get that circular investment thing going on with Google and NVIDIA and two or three others, where they give each other money, all right, that nobody knows where it came from, where it went. It's kind of like one of
the
those,
$3 trillion deficit here. Hey,
yeah, yeah,
what?
yeah. I mean, you got to put the money somewhere, right?
Up
So,
your bum.
yeah. But anyway, if you go back like even like 3 years ago, was there a need for data centers? And then they went from like, I don't know, maybe 100 or let's see how many. 3 years ago, there was 200 of them. And right now they've planned about 6,000 of them. And it's like, what are you going to do with all that? You know? And then you go, well, we got robot dogs. We got 2 million Tesla robots coming online that all need to have a server, dedicated server, maybe. I mean, I don't know. It just makes you wonder. Nobody will explain it. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think, if you're one of them that are thinking people, you don't need no splaining done.
That's right. You can just
You see it.
take the Lord's word that
Oh, well, there's those
that
people.
that doesn't exist anymore. You don't need to be talking about it. You can go back to your normal routines. Everybody's safe. Don't worry. I think I
Okay.
saw that in a Star Wars movie. Okay.
Uh, well, guess what?
What?
Matt is in the room.
Oh yeah.
Should we let him in?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Let's see what's happening.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Matt B.
Oh,
Where are thee? You are muted. He probably walked away from the computer because
something fell.
uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
Le voilà, le provocateur. Ooh.
What's happening?
You is muted, mister.
Oh, sound.
Yeah, but maybe I can fix it. I don't know.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go.
Verizon
Hey,
turned into a Verizon commercial.
yeah. How are you both?
We're doing well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I
They
wanna
said,
I wanna
oh,
see who's been interrogating me, let's say.
yeah,
The last
it's
year.
me. It's me. Uh,
What I mean, what do you do with all this? I mean, you're obviously doing a lot of research,
yeah,
but
yeah,
what do
I
you,
do, and it's something I have been doing, for a number of years. I mean, I started in the meditation, all sorts of stuff, probably when I was in about fifth grade, was when I was first exposed to things like that.
yeah,
So that kind of got the ball rolling for me a little early on, with that sort of stuff. And I also love plants and nature. All I read was field guides and you know uh textbooks when I was a kid. you
yeah,
know my grandma, she was a teacher's assistant, and she used to get the old Encyclopedia Britannicas
yeah.
and all sorts of big animal encyclopedia sets, which are pretty cool. So I would, you know, read those type of things, and yeah.
That's cool.
So that it gave me a good blend of metaphysical nature,
Yeah,
consciousness, and so a variety of things, a lot of which I've applied in different ways, I guess.
yeah.
Um, I grew up in a country area,
I did
so
too.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You have to have the thing that people miss is that you have to have time to let your curiosity flow outward. And if you don't have any curiosity, you don't forget it. You don't have to worry about it. You know,
Yeah.
you can go back to
The
your
one
social.
thing I have not lacked is curiosity in life.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. That's well, one of the things in doing these episodes with Leanne is that we do a lot of what and where, but why gets left off the table
Yeah.
because they want you to think, concentrate on what. There's UFOs, there's orbs, there's entities, there's demons, all these things. But nobody then go ahead and progress to that. Why? What was it in journalism? Why? Where? What? When?
What, when,
Where?
how, yeah,
Five
whatever.
Yeah, that
W's.
was for like third grade book reports.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, they
yeah,
applied it to that too.
yeah. But somehow why got dropped off the list. And the language I use is why am I seeing this? Everything that's put up in the news and stuff is like, why am I seeing this? It's like, and of course then we go, why is it important? And of course, to me, it's like for somebody that's seen a UFO, so what? Like we say, so what? Then what? Now what?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you get a little gold star, get a little check mark, draw a little picture, put it on the refrigerator. I mean, you're golden, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
But anyway,
No,
uh,
that's true. That's true. Uh, I I've realized at a fairly young age, uh, I rebelled a bit in school. You know, as in
what?
I, I questioned authority a
Oh
lot.
my gosh.
You know,
How shocking.
I was labeled trouble. I was
Yeah,
labeled,
the rulers on the thing. I
oh,
told, I
you're
mean,
saying to why are you asking this? Because it
yeah,
doesn't make sense. You know.
yeah. I got kicked out of catechism school. I hold the record in my high school for 100 and how much was it? 136 days straight of a paddling. Every morning they'd flip the intercom and I'd take 3 whacks and go back to my
Oh,
classes, right?
Yeah, they don't allow that anymore. It's illegal.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just sad to think I made that kind of sacrifice for humanity. And the only result was that they banned it, you know. Right?
Wow.
My father spoke. He had to go to a Catholic school for a very short time, but he said those nuns were awful. They whooped his knuckles, his brothers. Oh man,
Yeah.
you know, because you know, same thing. They rebelled against that whole thing too. You know, late '60s,
Yeah. Yeah.
early '70s.
Yeah. They have a thing they called do not detain, right? And they have another one that says do not contact, avoid contact at all costs. I think that's what they labeled me with. Dangerous to all ideals, all ideology, all politics, all authority. Just absolutely don't engage, do not engage, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I seek entertainment like in public sometimes, you know. Instead of ask them, "Hi, how are you?" You start in, "Seen any orbs lately?"
It'd
Have
be
the
nice to
UFOs?
start throwing some random questions at random
Oh
people
yeah,
like that,
it
and just to
just
see what the
throws.
reaction is, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Sometimes
Have
you get
alien?
pleasantly surprised, though. You know what? Every once in a while, somebody will answer back when you ask them a serious question.
Yeah,
I do sometimes, just to see
Yeah,
where it lands and like what's going on.
yeah,
And you're pleasantly surprised by somebody whose elevator actually goes up.
yeah. There's a few
Happen.
people out there paying attention, right? So,
there is. I run into them. I run into them. Uh, yeah, I live in a town here of about 40,000 people now, and what people don't realize about here, it's a defense contractor town, okay?
Oh,
Which
it's
is
what?
it's a defense contractor town. So there's
Yeah,
Lockheed, Raytheon,
yeah,
all 5 of them, a mile and a half away. You
yeah,
know,
yep.
yeah, and you know, so it's interesting. It's interesting. A lot of these homes, and this was a big General Electric town
oh
back.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Now PCBs were dumped everywhere. You know, I mean, my father said, "Oh, we used to swim in that lake all the time. They would just dump barrels of whatever it was,
oh yeah,
out there in the middle of the night.
oh yeah,
The lake would never freeze in the winter."
Oh
It-
my gosh. There's like coolant
yeah.
in the lake. Great.
Yeah,
yeah.
I lived in San Diego. We used to every time we'd drive down I-5 past their buildings, we'd go, "Our Father, General Dynamics, who art in heaven," because they controlled the town. I mean, it was just a standard joke, but maybe
Yeah.
not so jokey, you know.
Well, it's accurate to the truth,
Yeah,
but most really funny
yeah.
black humor is.
So when you start seeing the money flow that goes through a town of 40,000 people
Oh
that
yeah,
has
yeah,
defense contract,
yeah,
you know, um,
yeah. It.
it's kind of, I mean, you can see that
Uh-oh,
right on
froze
the
up.
like budget websites. It's like $300 million for what?
Yeah.
You know, you're not doing nothing with the roads.
Well,
You're not doing this and that. That
it's
you're
like
all supposedly telling us you're doing. You know.
it's like being in DC. The amount of money that flows through here, and of course, you ask what kind of talent does that attract? Right.
Some
So,
certain kinds, I could imagine.
yeah,
Some
I
certain kinds of talent.
you're right. I mean, yeah, that's the way you got to look at it, right?
Eek,
So
ick.
it's a town of hierarchical dominance. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, have
Yes.
any of the answers I provided to you been useful?
Absolutely. Actually, a lot of them, and I've learned a lot on the way. Do you remember when I first talked to you?
Huh?
Do you remember when I first spoke to you?
No, I
It
haven't.
was almost about 2 years ago, maybe it was maybe like late July. It would have been about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I called you and I had asked you about energy healing. And I had asked you about some other stuff. And you gave me some key insights into, like things that listen to how I sound, but not just words, my thoughts,
Uh-huh.
actions. How does my body sound? How does my
Right.
environment sound? Those sort of things. And
Yeah.
which helped give me, I guess, a different starting point than I would have thought to go on. I'm thinking it in these ways differently. And that really opened a lot for me. It has made me, I feel, a much just
Yeah.
happier person, healthier, slowly progressive. I can be sometimes slow to learn. Okay. Um,
Well, one,
but
one of the things that people miss is you you become curious or want to gain knowledge or you want to do all these things. It's like, what are you doing it with? Okay. And people go, well, I'm doing it in my head. No, you're doing it with your body, your brain, your mind, your consciousness, the field you exist in, the realities you inhabit, your etheric field interactions, your entanglement with, I mean, all these things, but nobody goes there. They tell you, oh, meditate. They tell you, oh, do these exercises. And of course, I started down the path very early of with what? And so if it was with my body, I wanted to do things to improve it. Yoga, Kundalini yoga, martial arts. If it was my mind, I wanted to do it through exercises and what do they call now? Lucid dreaming, only
yeah.
it's not dreaming, it's lucid daylight.
Mm.
Uh, it's like I wrote the book, The War Day, is for people to kind of get started down that path. And then War Night picks up into what we call the etheric and dream states and allows you to start working on that. That's what I'm writing right now. But the idea is like, what are you starting with? And that's what everybody skips. That's the problem I have with all the self-help gurus. They tell you you can do this, and I'm like, with what? Right? You know,
With what
you
and
can
how.
do that. Yeah, go run a marathon like with this. Yeah, and and then go think your way through this problem. There you go.
Yeah.
And if you get 30 people together, you know, we can have a field day with getting people started
I talked
Oh,
to this guy Doug Wirtz up at the Mansfield Theater Company. They've been there they're starting their 101st season, unless that was a typo. But he's just 45 minutes out. That'll take more than 30 people.
yeah, that'd
So,
be a
you
place.
know,
hey.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, so that's what started me down why I had to know human energy systems. I had to know Tai Chi, Qi Gong, Ni Gong, all these different things. That's why I needed to learn yoga and the postures, the swan. I mean, all these things that you have to kind of explore to where you can come back and go, I've got a decent idea of what I am and how I work, you know, and then welcome to whatever realities you want to play in. And that's what's different for everybody. Everybody plays in different realities. Some of them are common. We call them common realities. And some of them not so common, according to, social media news. We have the absurd, we have the absolute crazy, not to talk about politics anymore. Our
Yeah,
religion,
50
our
levels
religion
of insane.
are all the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I'm
I
good. I'm glad to see you.
No, I'm glad to see you too.
When I
I,
put faces and voices together, then I remember a lot more. So that's just the thing about
well,
me.
I could tell you this, my voice has deepened a bit because
Oh,
well,
that's what should
today's been,
happen. Okay.
yeah, it's day 71 of log rolls for me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying the 180 track, which I'd like to ask you about, you
Okay.
know, which
Okay.
is
I'll go ahead and give you the routine then. Okay.
okay.
Usually about 120 days is when we go into the sequence. So there's war day, and then there's the sequence that comes after that.
Okay.
It's you lay on your back, eyes are open, body's
Stop.
closed, feet together, arms by your side or over your head. Inhale deeply and roll over, right? You got it. At that point, you're exhaling, and then you inhale deep again and roll over. Okay, now you're face up. Always exhaling on the movement. Now watch, roll, roll, and when you're in the face up position again, you sit up. Okay. Now
Okay.
the trick is you don't sit up, you try to set up. And what that means is you tense the body to set up and you go at some point, right? The breath,
Okay. Okay.
the breath will escape because you're starting to squeeze the body. At
That's
the point you
yes.
lay down, roll, roll, and here we go again. So it's like roll, roll, push up. I mean, roll, roll, sit up, then roll, roll, sit up, and then roll, roll. You see, so you're adding another action to the sequence.
Okay. Okay.
The third one, roll, roll, sit up, roll, roll, push up. Got it? Yeah.
Okay. Roll,
So now
roll,
you
sit
got
up,
two.
roll, roll.
Roll, roll. Right. Always two rolls. Set up. Try to set up. Lay back down. Roll, roll, push up.
Okay. Okay.
The third move. Roll, roll, sit up. Roll, roll, push up. Roll, roll, stand up. Okay.
So
And
then stand up would be the fine as the
and
third one in this would be in that sequence. So roll, roll, sit up, roll, roll, push up, roll, roll, stand up.
yeah. Now,
Okay.
don't fall over when you stand up. That's the key.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I'll make sure I keep I actually am very good about keeping my eyes open while
Yeah. Yeah.
doing this.
So now what you will have three moves in the sequence or four. Roll, roll, sit, right? And anyway, it's a five move setup. So I'll get you try those first, right?
Okay. Awesome. You
And
you want you want to find something interesting that I've just been throwing on for like 2 minutes at the end of doing the log rolls is I would do a roll onto my stomach and do an upward dog, roll onto my back and do a back bridge.
yeah,
So I just to get a workout in for my but I don't know, that's kind of funny.
yeah,
Um
yeah, because the idea is you're going to generate energy into your energy field. And then the idea, here we go again, what are you going to do with it? Well, in Tai Chi and Qigong and Nigong, all these things, you would lay there for a minute and bring that energy back into your system. It's not to energize the room, it's to energize yourself. That's the whole purpose of doing these. And
Yeah.
a lot of people skip it. Like, okay, I did the rolling, now I'm gonna lay here a minute. No, it's like, inhale deep and push all that energy. We say push it all back inside the body. And that is crazy then, because you are so much bigger as far as how you're perceived in the world. Okay.
Your presence.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it means to be
Okay.
present. Okay. And I notice it because children notice me, like they'll whip their head around, babies, because they're not looking at the physical. They don't really, it's just shapes when they're real little, but they're reacting to the presence of an energy source, you know. So
That's interesting. That's really,
yeah,
thank you for that. Thank you for
yeah, yeah.
sharing that. I
And
appreciate
remember, that's just the first sequence.
it. Yeah.
There's there's more, like
And
Shannon.
it's still for 11 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Just wanted to make sure.
yeah. The sequence at 11 minutes, I used to give it to like some martial artists and football players, special forces people. And in the full sequence, the full 5 move sequence, you die after about 5 minutes. I mean, if you can go that long, I'd be very proud of you. Right?
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll
because most
see.
people don't want to push themselves that way. And again, the layout is where the work is done. Like all that is just to get the energy up to where you can then utilize it, you know. Um,
And
like
make
I
use of
said,
it. Make more.
you will know the difference. I'll put it that way. Okay.
I have definitely, you know, when I hit the 40-day mark with the, 11 minutes,
Yeah.
before that, I was feeling a difference. I mean, doing 4 or 5 minutes a day, I was feeling a difference.
Oh
But
yeah.
then when I hit
Yeah.
11,
Well, 3 minutes will change your energy level. 11 minutes will change what we call a field state.
okay.
Okay. And if you're doing 11 minutes, your energy field at the end of it's hitting about 30 feet. That's really wonderful. Okay. Like one of the ideas is we want to maintain a minimum of 100 volts along our spine. That's just a number. And we want to maintain a 30-foot energy field. Most people 3 feet. So most people under 30 volts on their field, on their spine. So they have a low battery and they have a low field that is replenishing it because your field replenishes your energy.
Okay.
That's what this is all about. Right? Has nothing to do with gurus or who said what to who or all about you, baby. Right? So,
But moving and expanding that energy and concentrating it
well,
out
well,
where
if
in
you do the
where
exercise, see, you don't even have to think about that. It's that's the whole point of getting to the point where I don't have to think about making my energy feel bigger. I just do my rolling.
and
At
it
the
just
end of
does it
that,
for me.
I'll have a bigger energy field. Now, what am I going to do with it? And that's when we do one of these where we push it back into the system. Okay. And it's kind of like when we do that energy ball thing. And
Yeah, I just started getting familiar with that the energy ball with putting that back in,
yeah.
some months back. So I know what you mean by
Yeah. If you
doing that.
push it back into the system, I mean, they use Dantian points, lower Dantian, middle, upper, but uh, again, this is something that's you explore on your own. Don't really need somebody to go do this and this. In other words, you should be able to come up with it. And that's the thing about all teachers. If I come up with something, my question is, if you do some of the things I did, can you come up with the same thing? Okay. Not like this is the way and the light and the truth everlasting. No,
Yeah.
that's Donald Trump talks like that. I'm sorry. Anyway, wherever that comes from. So, but the idea is that you should come up with some sort of, you know, insight. I like what those Celestine property books did. the idea that there was an insight that would become available to you. And those are unique to you, but may also have a common reality. Okay. In other words, you could then share with other people or something.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're going to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me more about those aliens, little Avi. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any questions today?
Yeah. I got a few. Well, first, I was curious. Can you calibrate and reset my energy field?
What now?
Can you calibrate and reset my energy field?
Yes, it's what I do.
Okay.
It's one of the things when I first I was teaching with another teacher, another whatever you want to call them, master, grandmaster, something, and I think let's see, we were in Santa Cruz. There was about 200 people in the audience. Okay, and they were having trouble with one of the exercises. Are you there? Yeah.
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 So they were having trouble with the exercise. And, you know, Master Ewan was sitting over the side watching me because I was leading it, which he never let other people lead, but I was up on stage leading it. He told me to take over. And there's like 50 of the couple hundred people, 50 or 600 couldn't get it. I kept going through and I go, look, I don't have time for this, and went like that. And I go, everybody got it now? And everybody went, yeah, we got it now. so, so you can influence, especially when you're wound up state. Remember the 200 feet energy field or whatever ends up, or thousands of volts running. You can have a direct impact on other person's consciousness. And so one of the things that happened, like Dr. Hawkins, I went to I went to 58 of his classes. And at one point he said, well, it's normal for a human to raise their conscious by 2 or 3 points, maybe 5 points in a lifetime. And I'm looking at that going, who the hell's got time for that? you know? And then and then I found basically it's true. In other words, most people, whatever level of consciousness like occurs in Dr. Hawkins' field of consciousness or whatever scale, is that very rarely do they move off of it. And it's closely related to IQ and insights and meditation and, psychedelics and everything else gets involved in all that. But one of the things I decided is like, well, the heck with that. I'll just, like I did with that group, I'll just do it. And I did it with individuals. That's how I got started. And, um, and it's like, well, why not just bump up their level of consciousness? And so when you start doing that, it's an exercise. And then after you do it enough, it becomes a practice, right? And after that, it becomes a protocol. In other words, like I can take and reset somebody, generally within a few minutes now, as opposed to 2.5 hours when I first started. I was
Gotcha. Okay.
very meticulous when I first started. Now I do the reset in like 3 minutes or less, and then come back and look for things I might have missed. Okay. And that's why there's a certain amount of questioning that goes on with it. And during that time, I'm checking for the validity or truthfulness of everything you're saying or everything that's going on with your own body, brain, mind, emotion, all of it. So
I've
you
noticed
have to answer your question. Okay.
I find it fascinating, absolutely, amazing how we can, develop our field in such a way, that we can start having not only a better, a more positive influence on ourselves, but then be able to expand that, out to others, if we choose to or not, And but it's cool knowing that, you know, say 30 feet, 100 feet, 100 volts, 1,000 volts,
Yeah.
you know, you become of benefit to yourself and others. I find that absolutely fascinating about all
Right.
this. I think it's
Yeah.
fun, really fun to play with it, and really fun to, you know, things I just sit here, I'll just kind of play with energy in my hands, you
Right.
know, because back in 6th grade, listen, they tried to pull a scam on us. They taught us the whole thing about moving energy in our hands. And then at the very end, they said, it's all fake. They said,
No.
it's only because of the friction of the heat on your hands. Now, about 2/3 of the kids, you know, maybe half fell for it. Like, oh yeah, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's another where you're like, no way, no way, you know, because then we would play around with that later on. You know, I didn't know about qigong and things like that till later, a little later on in life. You know, I was exposed to a little tai chi, you know, about the same time too. Um, you know, and I loved Bruce Lee. You know,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I studied with one of his, he trained 6 people, and I was able to study with one of those first students he had. But two things. I learned about energy work when I learned that I would sit there and try to, like, I would try to get as close as I could to my, brother or sisters or cousin or whoever until they started screaming, "Mama, he's touching me," And the answer was, I go, "Look, I'm not." And the answer is, yes, I was. Etherically, right? My etheric field was like pressing on them. Okay. And so that's like, I knew I was touching because I had feedback,
yes,
right? I could feel the pressure differential. And that's another art that people don't tune into or try to develop. There should be a pressure differential between what you think and what you act on. Okay. And that gets into a whole big thing
okay,
because feng shui doesn't make any difference until you get to a big energy field. And
okay,
then can you switch the energy field of an entire room without moving anything except, right? And
that's
I gave
cool.
some classes in San Diego and in Denver on how to do that. And it just shocked the feng shui people because they were still into moving matter. Okay. And the answer is no, you can reset the energy field. Any direction you want, you can change a room from north to south, south. I mean, you can alter all of it. And people pick up on it. I
Didn't
mean,
you do that for a client once in their
yeah.
house?
Yeah, I had
Probably
a
more than
Chinese
once.
lady, and I flipped the room so that the bed was facing in the right direction, and she almost fell down when the shift occurred. So
Really?
that's how much you can shift dimensionally, we'll call it. Um, and what we're shifting is our orientation and
Okay,
orientation to energy and reality and everything. It goes on all the time again, but no people don't explore it, right? And if you get 30 people,
May,
it
may
just
hopefully
shocks me
sooner or
nobody's
later
figured it out yet.
we'll gather up
Huh?
30.
What?
Hopefully sooner or later we can gather up 30
Oh
people.
yeah, yeah.
What if it's one schizophrenic person with 30 personalities? Does that count?
Yeah, yeah. We only need one, right?
Exactly. You only need one
Yeah.
physical body.
I've met some sixes and eights in my travels and practices. So,
Didn't you used to work in an asylum?
oh yeah, well those are we call them substitutions. Okay, kind of like DJT before he got elected and after he got elected. Yeah.
So is it like a substitution of I don't know how to put the wording, not a soul, but is it an
Okay.
aspect,
Okay.
or
So we'll say whatever you are equals uh, let's see what to call it. Just a second. Let me look at this. Uh, we're going to call it a non-malleable data point. Okay. And what that means is that, um, like Leanne, she goes to sleep at night, she wakes up as Leanne the next morning. Okay.
okay,
Now she wakes up as Leanne. Okay. You work up as Matt. You're during the course of the transition of 24 hours and whatever space we've gone through, you have basically ended up in the same position, meaning the data that represents you. Okay, we give it a name, and that's the best way to do it is just give it a name, Matt, Leanne, Randy, because that data set can be interrogated. That's what I do. So even
oh,
I never meet somebody or I have clients all over the world, just tell me your first name. I'll tap into that data set because that data set exists. Okay. So if that's true and it's unmalleable, meaning it takes a lot to change it because otherwise it wouldn't be consistent over time and space. Right. So consciousness is consistent from somewhere around 2 or 3 years old. And then when it hits about 7 or 8, then it's really starting to lock in. And it's actually locked in before, but around 7 or 8, it really locks in. That's it. That's what we will call Matt. That's what we'll call Leanne Randy. Okay. So, so when you understand that, you say, well, I have a unmalleable data set, then the first question to ask is, well, how do I change that? Right? Because, and I've done this. I had a
make it
lady work with
malleable.
NSA, and she's like 36 years old. She says, I always wanted to be 5'8" or something, or 5'6". And I go, how tall are you? She goes, 5'4". And I said, okay, so we'll just change your data on your DNA, your genetic makeup, which is a kind of like a, what do you call it? It's electromagnetic. That's the other thing. So human beings are electromagnetic phenomena in a data package, without getting into all of it. And within 3 to 4 months, we had her at 5'8" or whatever additional. She gained two
Really?
inches. Shocked everybody, right?
Huh.
And that was DARPA she worked for, and then they wanted to know if I'd come to work for them. And the
Oh, I
answer
bet
is
they did.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
the answer is no. She asked me some questions, and I wrecked the whole research program they on. I told her that she was flat out wrong, and she called me back a month later. They shut it down because it was wrong. I said, "I knew that. How come you didn't know that?" So that becomes the thing: is once your energy field and data field get big enough, you're cognizant of a whole lot of stuff. You look at all the questions you've asked, you're more cognizant by virtue of having some sort of reach, I'll call it, or interest or curiosity, and then having the energy to support it, that becomes a key because now you can really push out. You can really know a lot. And I think that crazy person Tesla, when he was sitting there in those electromagnetic fields he was generating, that he really might have pushed the envelope, because like he did the generators on Niagara Falls all in basically 2 or 3 days, and they're still there
We're
working
still
100
there.
years later, right?
Yeah.
Like start to finish, here's your blueprint, get busy. So,
Yeah,
I'm
that
trying
should
to
say
reach those
something.
kind of breakthroughs, you know. So
Oh, that's really cool. No, I find so when we're interacting with zero reality in a dream state. Okay. I'm trying to word this in a
yeah.
certain way. Okay. And our dream, how do I have it? So, like our interactions in our dreams, what
Right.
sort of weight do they carry back over from into one reality from the zero reality, if any? But it seems like
So
some.
what we would say, remember the unmalleable state of existence, we would say, what is their easy way, energy potential to produce change? And so that's why War Night, I'm going to talk about that. So the answer is most dream states, most nights are incapable of producing any significant change from a data or energy standpoint to that which existed previous to going to sleep and that which happened after coming when you wake up.
Okay.
Right. Now, we can say that when we know there's instances where somebody could go to sleep and literally scare themselves to death. They could literally have physiological changes that occurred from time they went to sleep to the time they went. Now, to me, I've always looked at that as another area to explore. That's why I wanted to do War Day and War Night as a book, because there's a lot that can be done there. And as an example, like my girlfriend, I wake up at night sometime, or she wakes up and I've got my hands out because I'm still working, right? And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm working either a problem or a data set. You know, I'm
Are you consciously like fully
no,
aware
no,
that's going on, or is it sort of just happening as a
no. A certain portion of my consciousness is aware of it because I'm aware of the changes I've made in, say, another person or another event, and I've been the last 5 months, 6 months, been really honing in on how all that works. And so, you know, you don't have to go into a disassociative state to be able to influence what's around you.
okay?
So remember the rolling and you keep your eyes open,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So so one of my kung fu teachers said, if you can't do this in the middle of a parade, you can't do it. Okay. In other words, you can't go and you know, right? Yeah, you have to, and that was what was happening, like with the different groups that we were teaching out in California. You don't have time to let me center myself, let me do, you know, you got to have the energy to deal with what's in front of you. That's what started. Well, that's the same language in Kung Fu and in Jeet Kune Do, right? You have to
Okay.
have the energy to deal what's in front of you, right? And if what's in front of you has more than you, now you have more than them. So
Yeah.
it's just that quick. You don't have to
And
go
and
through
and
some
that works
process.
great. That
Yeah, that's
I do
sharp
this a
end.
lot. It's something I practice. My wife and I, Christina,
Yeah,
we for a time for a number of months were practicing Kappa Bahati
yeah,
breathing, and over no time, I mean, we were doing hundreds of breaths, and
yeah,
wow, you feel great. I mean, you didn't have nothing in your sinuses,
yeah.
free of
Uh,
headaches,
yeah,
full of energy. Um, uh, all those type of pranayama type exercises. I'm into the Kundalini stuff, and that's something I'm, uh, you know, got to practice more of. I do more of the breathing, but I'm getting back more into doing like the Sufi grinds, you know,
uh,
and
Yeah,
the spinal set.
yeah. I love what Yogi Bhajan said. Who taught you to breathe? Right. And the reason I say it because all the time I lived in the ashrams and doing the Kundalini yoga and teaching it, I mean, I don't know, 50 different breaths, 100 different breaths, all of them producing a different outcome. That you need to close your eyes and be able to see the energy that's going on. So I've been working on being able to develop a screen, just like the computer screen in front of us, and
Okay.
being able to project images. And then the same thing occurs naturally when you dream state at night. You're seeing a screen. You're not seeing any kind of reality. Your only senses that are present is your sight and touch. Let's see what else. And sound, maybe, because you're kind of hearing it internally. But you don't have a sense of taste. You don't have a sense of touch, right? For the most part, unless there's entities or other things present around you. And then touch becomes something that just freaks you out because all the hair stands up and all the other things. But
Oh
there's
yeah.
an etheric interaction that occurs in dream states. See, so we can talk about it, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
so I had a dream. I don't know what that is, right? It's disturbance in the force.
What's to, I guess, what about dreams? Okay, say dreams we can vividly remember, whether they were good, bad, anywhere in between, like that stuck with us. We maybe use that type of wording. That for some reason,
Yeah.
whether it was interesting, whatever, scary,
Okay.
joyful.
There's data. We'll take that as just a dream.
Okay,
The energy in the dream is supplied by you, by your emotions. So that which is vividly imagined or emotionally experienced, that's another one they don't talk about. That which is emotionally experienced is more valuable than that which is just thought about.
okay,
Okay. And there's a lot, that's a whole nother class. I mean, because that's a pretty deep one. Because what happens is that, like in the Kung Fu class, we started learning to divorce emotion from data,
okay.
right? And it's very important for, like, you get hit and it's like instantly you drop the data and there's no emotion. So it's gone. So you don't experience any bruising or pain or all these other things. And of course, everybody tries to come at it with sort of a mystical kind of, ooh, let me woo woo out. No, it's a very simple practice. And I've taught it to like special forces, boxers, fighters, martial artists, right? Because pain can be got rid of like that. Pain is a memory, right? That is either emotionally charged or not. So if you hurt yourself as a child and your mom goes, oh, it's no big deal. Okay. You don't
Yeah,
suffer. But if you like, oh my God, my brother hit me, and 6 days later, my brother hits me, it's like, okay, now you've got an emotional charge in it, and you have increased the data density of that event.
okay,
So this
okay.
becomes like we say, what's important to you? And or name me important things that have happened in your life. Most people come up with negatives, by the way, right? Very few people come up with, you know what? I had an ice cream cone the other day. It was so freaking good. You see, like, right?
Yeah,
That's an endorphin. But every time you say, my brother hit me with a brick. No, I did that. Anyway, it's like that's a different you see you're producing a cortisol and negativity in the body and all this stuff.
adding emotionality into it every time you're
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
yourself the story, repeating the story, and
Yeah. So I tell
that's
people the point is to have emotions because that's human, but to make them so short duration that they don't influence you. Okay. And the reason I say that is because pleasurable events have short duration memory. Negative events have long duration. So here we go. Why? Well, the amount of energy that has encoded that data, right, into your unmalleable existence, right, presence. And you see how all that got in there. Now, what that does is open up the ability to reprogram this whole thing. You've been
Okay.
programmed from the beginning, mom, dad, brother, sister, teachers, preachers, right? It just goes on forever. And it's like, what happened with me at about 28, I said, wait a minute. Let me start breaking this stuff down to what actually works for me and what doesn't. So most people never reach that point in their life. Why? Because they got to go through all the development process and the energy to be able to turn that energy inside and actually modify the field that is their existence, their identity.
Okay.
Okay. Huh. That's a lot. Sorry. Give me
No, that.
another question. That's where
Oh,
this is
I have something
excited
interesting.
about all this, you know? So,
No, it's really cool stuff. It's stuff I can sit and talk about and listen to all day long. I mean,
well, I
because
can certainly talk about it.
yeah, it's the experiences of these things, you know, of everything we bring to in life, everything that. All right, I could just give a good experience. The other day, I was outside doing bagua. Okay. After that, I kind of did a little like stillness, just some standing qigong, and I had something so beautiful happen. This little chipmunk friend that I've been trying to make came over and got wicked close to me. He was starting to get a little close for a few days, but you know, he got within feet of me. But not only that, at the same time, this random black squirrel. Now, black squirrels aren't unusual around here, but in this part of the area, we don't usually see them. This black squirrel came out of nowhere and stopped in front of me and looked at the way he was posing was like
Yeah.
almost doing the same pose I was. And I wasn't focusing my awareness on him, but I was just kind of focusing it outward, letting him kind of just know, look, I ain't gonna hurt you. I'm here. And they were both there for a couple minutes, probably a minute and a half, 2 minutes, it felt like. And that was a beautiful experience. And then I shifted my awareness, and next thing I know, that black squirrel went somewhere. I don't know where. The chipmunk.
If you practice mimicry with them, they'll become your best friend. What? Oh,
Oh yeah,
I'll tell you real quick. I walked outside one day and I had some trees I was looking at, and next thing I know, I felt somebody looking at me. Same thing. Remember your energy field?
yeah.
I turn around, there's a squirrel right here, right? Like within 2 or 3 feet, staring at me. And it made noises like, right? Oh my, and it went like this and then launched, right? And so every time I'd come out, it'd come up and it'd chatter and I'd chatter. And what I was doing is just mimicking her sounds, right?
Mhm.
And I know it's a her because I came back like, I don't know, the next spring or something. And same thing, I felt somebody looking at, now there's two of them. She had a baby she had brought to see me,
Oh,
right? And like we start that chatter. Now the funny part is I come to DC, I'm sitting by the fountain and there's squirrels running around. And I go, and they're like, zoom right up, like sitting on my lap or sitting next to me, looking at me and everything, because they think I'm one of them.
they know you speak their language.
Yeah,
They're
that's it.
like, because both Christine and I, we have a way with animals. All
Yeah.
right. We're both those type of people who whose people's cats who hate everyone
Right. Well,
come
that's
up to us and we can pet them and love, and they're like, what the hell
yeah,
happened? This, the cat hates everyone, the dog bites everyone, and
yeah. No, I
they're hamming up to you and you
yeah.
know
Animals and children will tell you the truth, right? That
Every
your
time.
in your
Every time.
waistline.
yeah.
So anyway, yeah, the waistline is what we're addressing. Uh, the rest of it comes about because of that. Um, anyway, that's good because people look for confirmation, and I mean, even the trees will eventually say hello to you if you pay attention. And of course, that makes people crazy. And I'm like, no,
I don't know why. It's
you
not
yeah,
that's not and see, these are ideas are normal to me. That this is not absurd thinking. This is not,
see,
listen to this
Native
person
American,
spouting off about, no,
yeah,
I know this is a real thing,
right,
through experience, maybe not as a deep of experience, but experiential onto a level that we can communicate on, you
yeah.
know, and on levels share with, that we know it's a real thing, you know. So
Now, it's like Native Americans, we say we're part of nature, not apart from nature. So therefore, we call everything our cousins. The plants, the insects, the rocks, it didn't make any difference. And what it refers to is they have consciousness and existence. If it exists, it has consciousness, by the way. So that's one of the little keys you can get into in quantum entanglement is that each of those little quanta or packets has consciousness. And I've demonstrated that with some slot machines at one point. But anyway, so to a group of my students, I took them to a casino one night just to show what's going on. Anyway, whatever questions you got. Any more
yeah,
tonight?
yeah, this you might find interesting. So I got these at a yard sale not too long ago. The
Oh, yeah.
Chinese meditation balls. I was curious, it gives the little instructions on what they
Yeah.
do, but what is there any particular meditations that you do with these? Because other than like, or do you just simply move them, and is it
Okay.
as simple as that?
What you're dealing with is called meridian flow and the energy in the hands. Okay. So most people have no concept of what energy in the hands looks like. Like say when you touch somebody or whatever. Um, uh, when I first started, I did a little book and I went around teaching it called Creative Energetic Health. And the idea is that you would take your energy and be creative with somebody else's health position. I
Yeah.
worked an 11-month-old baby today was being sick and brought her vitals right back up to, high, we'll call it. That took about 5 minutes, only because I was researching what all needed to be done. Okay. But the hospital didn't know if it was viral or bacterial. It was bacterial. So I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
we deal in the truth, right?
No viruses.
Then what are you going to do? Well, she had a meridian flow that was turned off or negative, and I inverted that, and away we go. All the energy flowing back the way she's better, right? So longtime client brings her daughter, just all done on the phone. But in the creative energetic book, I need to publish that one probably. It's just a little booklet, but I teach what's called five palms exercise. And remember the five things in rolling?
Yeah.
There's five palm exercises, and then even to touch somebody is to kind of like electrostatic shock, you might say.
Okay. Okay.
Now, we developed it up in some of the weird martial arts where you could literally hit somebody with it. And and I demonstrate that. They call it energy punching. And literally, you just like, there's no energy in the punch itself. It's more like you just tap them and drop them to the floor. And I've
It,
demonstrated that. So,
now, is that a pressure change or is that an
no, that's an
energy?
energetic,
It's an
that's
energetic, like,
shifting their energetics.
okay, okay, gotcha.
Wait, an abrupt shift.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, an abrupt shift because there's a couple points of the body, or literally, you don't even have to touch them. I work on people all around the country, world. I don't touch them, right? They're nowhere near me. That doesn't make any difference, okay? But you can turn a person, Leanne, I love this, turn them on or off depending on where you where you
Don't
poke
even get me going. Like I remember honestly, just from my own working experience, although I didn't really do anything, Randy's worked on me without
them.
Okay.
necessarily telling me, "Hey, I'm going to work on you." But like, where I just want to sleep for 3 days out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure he's recalibrating me.
Yeah, that's what
That,
it is. But
I,
you
it,
can you
it's
can
all,
just
uh,
you can just
It's
pop
not always that.
somebody. Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of hitting anybody after a while doesn't make any sense. Just pop their energy field.
when I first talked to you on the phone, and I know it was fairly brief, but I remember in the first, okay, one, I learned about making declarations to the universe
Right.
because we played phone tag for a couple days, and you called me. Then I was finally around, and you said I'm going to call you at this time. So I got off the phone and I said I'm not going to miss this call no matter what. So half hour later, I decide, well, I think I have time to take a shower, quick,
Yeah.
very quick one. Sure as hell, I'm in there, soapy hair. I was smart enough to keep the phone because I was like, I have a feeling I should keep this here.
Yeah.
And sure enough, yeah, I called. I'm wiping soap out of my hair. I'm like, oh God. But I remember telling you I was a little nervous or shaky at first, anxious. And you did something. You said, "Hold on 1 second." You came back to the phone, cleared your throat, and all of a sudden I felt this, you
Yeah.
know, just an instant
Yeah.
clearing and
That's
expansion of my
that's
field.
that's
And
the
that was like,
difference between
oh,
people telling you and people doing it. Okay.
yes,
And that's what, remember, be curious. It's like, well, if I can work on other people and change their information state, like you have an illness, you don't have an illness, you have an information state that's not,
Hygienic.
yeah, not positive, we'll call it. Okay. And so information is data. Data is electromagnetic, and you can delete it. Remember, we're using energy. So you can do that with, like, people all the time to me, like they'll say, well, the other day, blah, 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 I hurt my arm. And I'm like, let's get rid of that because they're telling you what's going on. And
no, it makes sense,
yeah,
and it's fun to play with. Listen, when my wife tells me she's got aches and pains, I'll just put my hand right over like her elbow or
yeah,
something, and I just start feeling, I feel that pressure, deep in that pressure,
yeah.
expand, and
Learn
not for
to,
long. Sometimes a short time, sometimes a few minutes. It depends how my energy is flowing and
yeah,
and
right.
stuff, what I'm doing.
Yeah. What,
Sometimes I'm bending over and just trying to do it this way, but it'll work still, but
but we were introducing language, Leanne and I, of information hygiene. Well, the other one is energy hygiene. Okay. And so you think about, well, if I have information that I don't want, How do I get rid of it? So all psychiatry and psychology to me is having information you don't want anymore. Okay. And then here you are going to tell people, here, take drugs so your brain's like unable to process. It doesn't mean the information's not still there, it's just you can't process anymore. As opposed to, well, get rid of the information. And I did this on stage one time. Some lady started complaining about all this stuff. I was like, okay, okay. And at one point, now she's in front of a couple other people. And at one point, she finally goes, I don't remember what I was talking about. We started laughing, right? Because she just spent 20 minutes telling, some negative story. And I'm standing behind her going, with delete, 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 right?
Cleared it out of the way.
Yeah. So information can be sanitized and be sterilized. And the deeper the information, the more you need to sterilize it, meaning it has no existence. Now, that's some secrets that I don't usually tell people, but that's part of the process
But
of
you know
having.
what's really funny about what you're saying? This last week, I decided that, rather than have the story go, I'll just pretend like it's some weird dream that happened a long time ago that has nothing to do with anything and just like let it fade because I don't need to keep interacting with it, which is a form of what you just said.
Yeah, yeah,
It works too.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like not feeding something. It's right. Is it the
Well,
same idea as something coming around and you're not feeding the
You're
thought or the organ?
starving the fever, baby.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the idea is real simple. Your mind, consciousness, body, everything it remembers. We say that's why we say everything has conscious. It's like I don't want it anymore. Okay. Well, all of the body and everything eventually forgets stuff. Okay. Through a natural, the people say, well, I had a 3 day cold. And I'm like, why 3 days? Here we go. When I was young, right? Why not 4 days? Why not 2 days? Why not? What the hell?
4 hours,
And then they'll
I
talk
have it at
about that.
all.
And then a week later or a month later, they don't remember having had a cold. And I'm like, well, if that's a natural process, I want in the middle of it. You know, if I got hit and took a blow and it caused damage, how long is that damage going to stay there until I forget about it? So I want to sanitize that. I want to sterilize the whole experience and have it out of my conscious and have then room for new things. And so,
But a lot of people like to walk around damaged because it gives them a story.
well, no, yeah, well, their data feels saturated with that, and to the point that it's the only thing that occupies their consciousness. And it's, so I say, I've never been married, never been divorced, never had children, never see all these things that people come up as what's important in their life. And what's important in life is you be yourself, right? That's it, right? Everything else flows from that. And of course, most people aren't. That's like when you said, can I reset you? Yes, I'll reset you to being yourself again.
Because they're not taught to
Thank
be
you.
themselves. We're taught from a childhood to
Oh,
be
yeah,
something else and that you're not good enough because if you're not brushing with Crest, like that'll make you better. Like all the
Yeah.
crazy things they pump in from right from the beginning. Oh my God.
And
well,
it's so early on.
yeah, like what were we taught? The first thing they start in on you when you're in like second or third grade, what are you going to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Like, what's my choices here? I could be a cartel leader. No,
Yeah,
no, keep going. I
I can
could
make
be
drones,
yeah, oh no,
drone
astronaut, doctor,
manufacturer.
lawyer, candlestick maker, whatever the hell all those were in. But there were a lot of career choices that weren't available to me even when I got to high school. All right. Only fans hadn't been invented. But anyway, go
Gonna
ahead.
say burlesque dancing was not suitable,
Yeah.
not an option.
So I was
God.
shocked later in life to realize that there were a lot of people out there making a heck of a lot of money doing things that I wasn't told that you were allowed to do.
You
Yeah,
know,
making a fortune.
and make it exactly, I make it money hand over fist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
The lunacy is real, folks. Oh
it's
boy.
just too much fun. I'm sure happy to talk to you and see you.
Well, I
Okay.
think
Well,
he's just
no,
sick and tired of me, but that's okay.
listen, I very much appreciate that you guys, took the time
Well,
to
yeah,
have me
it took a
on,
whole
and
year for us to
I really appreciate it. It's fun to be able to interact and also to follow up on stuff, because I can ask the question and also kind of follow through on thoughts, which doesn't translate well into trying to ask a question on typing. Otherwise, you got a marathon of an email for one question, and it's like,
Right.
Well, it's not even that. Like, and then when I have to read your questions for you, it's not necessarily even your voice. I feel like, I don't know, like you're a ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Your mouth isn't moving, but mine is, but it's your question. Like a remote ventriloquist. I don't know. Or my crazy brain just went, I don't know. It's funny.
Okay, you wore me out. I'm done.
That's enough. I need to go eat something. I
All right.
made 2
And
baguettes. I ate a
anyway,
whole one the other day. I'm
come
gonna
back
eat.
anytime because these are the kind of questions. The reason I love your questions, these are kind of questions that other people out there want to know. Right? They're things that people want to talk about that they don't have anybody talk about. And that's the reason Liane and I are doing these shows, that people can talk about things that otherwise, it devolves into what's the price of oil and did Trump win the war anymore?
Oh, yeah, and
Just
both
stuff that absolutely doesn't make a difference in your life.
P.
You know?
Diddy,
see,
Yeah.
both me,
Oh,
me and
Epstein.
Christina,
Epstein.
yeah,
like
we both
Tourette's.
appreciate the show because one, it's a break from all that bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and two, yeah, you get to educate, laugh, learn something, and interact in a way. And like you said, I do know, people that want to know this stuff, but they don't ask,
Yeah.
or maybe they've asked it at
Maybe
one
they're
point,
afraid to ask because you're
and
not
maybe,
supposed to ask about this stuff.
yeah.
You're supposed to talk about 9 to 5 jobs and you're supposed to talk about your 450 401k or whatever the meow it is. And you're not supposed to say adrenochrome. Like, I'm so tired
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
subject.
Well, I was one, both of us, we didn't adhere to anything during when they put us in the lockdowns.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it was just dumb.
the hell to all that.
I
And
happen to
we
have
live
been
in a
taking.
state where it was, you know, we're outnumbered with 90-10,
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. And
and
then we've got
for a
Fauci
little bit,
taking the
but then
fifth now.
people started waking up and were like, yeah, this is bullshit. Who's listening to this anymore?
Nobody.
Who's
My
doing this?
demented mother.
I didn't participate from day one. I said no.
Even
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
demented mother insisted that we're
Yeah.
immune and that's poison and we're immune anyway, she said.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'll go with what my demented mother doctor just said.
I,
I'm
I'll
not.
tell you what it did. It showed how many people are gullible, right? That's all it showed, right? It showed that the number of people that were not capable of rational reason. It showed people that were not capable of maintaining themselves in the face of force. Okay. I mean, it revealed all kinds of things. And one of the things that eventually revealed is that, IQ matters. It's just that simple.
It makes me want to start singing They Blinded Me with Science by Thomas Dolby.
Oh yeah.
And those of us who pay attention start seeing the cracks in the machine,
Yeah.
that don't fall for the crap.
Well,
So,
it's just like with Hawkins. If they're under 200 consciousness, when you look around you, he said it's about 85% of humanity. And so if you look around your 40,000 population, right, we'll just take a look. How many of them rate over 200 in level consciousness? Let's see, 40,000.
212.
6,000. That's a lot.
Oh,
6 out of 40.
That's
So
good.
then we go, well, how many of
well, that's good.
our IQ over 120? And in your town, that amounts to about 6,000. So here we go. So IQ, and you see what happens? It's
Yeah.
like we start, and then if you take the level of conversation about some of these things, and that's what Hawkins got into, you can't have these conversations at a certain level of consciousness. Okay.
No, you
And
cannot. I
so,
learned that firsthand.
yeah, because people don't want to hear it. And
Well, because they don't want to have their belief system rocked, because then again, it gives them a freaking identity crisis.
Yeah.
Instead
Plus
of like, they're
the need to be right, the moral authority,
yeah,
and the
no,
fear of being
yeah.
wrong, like the need to be right because you're afraid of being wrong. Because if you're wrong,
Yeah.
then you've been, functioning on filthy hygiene
Yeah.
of information, right?
Yeah.
Filthy
You have a
information.
moral authority to be yourself. How's that? And
Well,
I
and
love
all
it.
these people out there are telling you you can do this, that, and the other. They do not have the authority or the energy to be able to change your energy or data state.
you are not the boss of me.
Right. Oh, but I do. So
Oh man.
there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen, guys, I really thank you. I appreciate
Thanks
Oh
for
folks.
no, this is to me this is the best fun in the world because you can talk about things you want to talk about, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
And it's something we
come
both enjoy,
anytime.
and what we both love talking about, love hearing, and hope to spark more discussion of with others,
Yeah.
at some point.
All right.
All right, guys.
Find me 30 millionaires that want to learn some of this and we'll get going. All right.
Oh wow. Do we get
Okay.
commission if we
Andy,
find them?
All right.
nice to meet you, my
All
friend.
right.
Liane, very
All
nice to meet you.
Matt,
right.
Thank you, guys.
we'll see
Funny.
ya.
Yeah. All right. I had a good time. Thank you. I'll talk to you
All right,
tomorrow. All right.
me as well.
Bye
Okay.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.